So, okay, we can continue then. So, one very basic program that I have already shown you how we can. This is called scripting. Okay, scripts. How we can write a script and run it. So you can run this thing directly into the Python prompt. Okay, but this is a simple program that I need to show you. But in future we are going to learn. We're going to write a script of 100, 200 lines. So that script is not suitable for the Python command prompt to run. So that's why this is the way of how we can run a script. Okay, this is very much similar with those who are using JDK through a command prompt to run. They can find the similarity between them. Okay, those who are not, they cannot find. So in the similar way, we can do like this: y equal to x equal to 5, y equal to 7. So you can understand that we don't need to declare or initialize the variable with any kind of data type, right? So we can just write the variable, then write the assignment operator, and then provide the value which will be stored inside that variable. That will be enough to represent a variable in Python. Okay, so I think you can understand this is one of the overhead or headache that has been already removed in Python, that you don't need to write any kind of explicit data type in front of the variable. Okay. So x equal to 5, y equal to 7. Whenever you are giving these two values, these two variable will be by default or automatically treated as integer variable. Okay, based on the value.
Are you sharing the screen? Hello, sir.
Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing. Oh, sorry. Okay, like this. Okay, I hope the screen is visible right now. So whenever you will provide this two value x equal to 5 and y equal to 7, automatically it will be treated as a integer variable. Based on the value, whatever you are providing inside the variable will be treated like that particular data type. Okay, automatically, you don't need to explicitly mention it. Okay, now z equal to, suppose you have given a value 8.92. So now z will be treated automatically as a float variable. Okay, in a similar way, if you give the value as my name, so C will be treated as a string variable at the backend. I hope that you are understanding how we can write a variable in a Python. Variable writing condition is very much similar with C. So a variable, we can write a command line in Python by using hash. Okay. In C++ or C, we'll use double slash. Here we will use hash to write a comment line. Hash is used to write a comment line. So how we can write a comment line? A variable name must start with a letter, just like in C and C++, same kind of conditions. Okay, or must start with the underscore, but it cannot start with a number. So this same logic will be also applicable, has been also applicable in C and C++. Okay, I think you have remembered it. Okay, the same logic is also applicable in C and C++. Okay, so variable name in Python can be start with any letter or even underscore. Okay, but it cannot start with a number. Okay, Python variable are case sensitive. On Python, not variable, the entire language, Python language is case sensitive in nature. Case sensitive in nature. Okay. What do you mean by case sensitive? Suppose if I am going to define a variable like this, age equal to suppose 65. I am defining another age variable, suppose 78. I am defining another age variable, suppose 88. Now, can you tell me, are these three are the same variable or not? Or three are different variable? They will occupy three different memory locations in the computer system. What do you say? Are they similar variable, same variable? Are they occupy the same memory locations? Or they are three different variables occupy three different memory locations? What is your
Different
idea?
variables.
Yes.
Different.
Very good. These three are different variables because we are changing the uppercase, lowercase letters, so it makes it different. Okay, and these three variable will create or will occupy three different memory locations or memory spaces in your computer system. That's why Python is case sensitive in nature, because based on the cases, whenever you are changing the cases of the variable names, it will automatically change the nature or type of the variable. So not type, nature of the variable or different kind of variable you can do it. Okay, you can use it. So Python can integrate itself with an IDE, which I have already told. So you can use Jupyter or Anaconda IDE, Eclipse, NetBeans, PyCharm. There are several IDEs are available in Python that you can use. Okay, the famous IDEs are Jupyter, PyCharm. Okay, these are the IDEs. Okay, Eclipse, NetBeans, okay, and etc. There are several IDE. IDE means integrated development environment. Okay, this provides a GUI to use a Python. Okay, GUI kind of thing. Okay, I will show you in the next class. I will show you that GUI, how we can use GUI. Okay. One very interesting thing in Python variable that you need to learn, very, very interesting, which we cannot do in case of C or C++. That is multiple variable assignments. Multiple variables assignments. Can anyone identify by the help of this statement what I am trying to say? Multiple variable assignments that we cannot do in C or C++.
Yeah, like if I create A, B, C and equal to 1, 2, 3, then it automatically take the value like A is equal to 1.
Yes. Suppose A variable is equal to B variable is equal to C variable. And suppose I have assigned my name like this. This is possible in case of Python. These are possible in case of Python, a possible step that you can take in case of Python, a representation. But in C and C++, we are not able to represent in such a way. Okay, it will not allow. Another kind of multiple assignments like A, B, C. Suppose I have written like this, suppose orange, apple, mango. Clear? These are multiple assignments. So A represents, and A is storing orange, B is a variable which is actually storing apple, and C is a variable which is actually storing mango. This representation and this representation is quite different. Why? Because three individual variables are storing three different values or different strings respectively. Okay, in the same statement or in a single statement. Okay, and here the same value will be stored into all the three variables by using assignment operator. Okay, their jobs are different, but both are the example of multiple variable assignments. This is very new in case of Python compared to C and C++. Remember it. Okay, multiple variable assignments. Okay, so either you can assign the variable in three different lines, like A equal to orange, in the next line B equal to apple, in the next line C equal to mango. It's your choice, or you can do like this. So obviously, if you can do like this, it has some advantage. What is the advantage? It will reduce the size of your code. Clear? I hope that it is important for you, important to you. So we can write this. We can print the values. Let's check it out. Suppose don't take the same variable. Create confusion. Z H M. Okay. Acha, taking the first letter O, AP, and M. So if you print A, in the next case A, B, C. Okay. And in the next case, we will print, sorry, not printf, it should be print O, AP, comma M. Okay, you can do this print into 3 different lines of your choice. Okay. So if we run this code, let's check it out. Oh, sorry, it should be a hash here. Line. Okay. Understood. ABC printing the same string and OPPN. So string can be represented either by double quote or single quote. Both are allowed. Okay. Any one representation you can follow. Is it clear or not? Tell me. Is it clear or not?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, what is the syntax to comment out multiple lines?
There is no syntax to comment and multiply. Only one syntax you can use, that is hash.
No,
Okay.
so there
You
is
can use
like,
docstring for the multiple lines comment.
yeah,
Which one? Which
like
one? Which one?
3 dotted
Docstring,
lines.
like quotation, 3 quotation we can use there. 3 quotation to
But
comment
3
multiple
single-
lines.
3 quotation.
Yes.
Sir, 3 single quotation type of.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can
Like
use double
6
quotation also, no problem. You can use double
Yeah,
quotation also.
like that.
Like
Yeah.
this.
Uh,
3.
Another
Like this.
kind of question. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
single quotation, sir. Single quotation.
No, no, you
single
can use
quotation.
double quotation also.
Double quotation, sir, single.
Double or single? I don't
Okay.
know. You are telling like
Sir,
this.
both. You can use both. No problem. Sir. You can use both.
Okay.
Double, single.
So I have given 3.
Okay.
So let's check it out. Yes, it can be used. Yes. Then 3 or double quotation we can use. Right. 3 or double quotation we can use. Actually, I'm using this hash. Okay. All the time, because in MATLAB it is also used hash. In R it is also used. We can also use hash. Okay. Okay. This is a thing. Okay. There is one more thing. If we want to know the type of variable in Python, that which type of variable we are using. Okay, because we didn't mention the type here. So if you want to know that this variable is string type or this variable is an integer type, you can use the type function, which is a system defined function in Python, like this. So it will return the type, the data type of this variable A, so which will be string. Okay, so I'm writing one more type function to return the data type of variable, suppose C. What is the C variable data type? Not C, sorry. Suppose Z. What is the C variable? Z variable data type is float, so it will return float. Okay, so let's check it out. Okay, the string type and it's a float type. I think it is clear to everyone. So type is always return the type of variable, because we are not using any explicit type casting. So that's why this thing is important. Okay, to verify the types of any variable that you are using. Actually, in Python, instead of we are calling these things as a variable, it will be preferred that we can call these things as object. As an object, because I have told that in object-oriented programming, Python is fully object-oriented programming, just like Java. So everything is concept of class and object. So now we can say, sir, how can we tell it is as an object? Then which one will be its class? Can anyone tell me? If it is an object, then which one will be its class? A is an object. A is an object of which class? A is an object
Integer?
of, no,
Sorry,
A
a
is
string.
an object of string class.
Yeah,
A is an object of string class. That thing you need to understand. Okay, it is called concept, nothing else. Z is an object of, because this kind of question interview will ask you and making you confused. Okay, so instead of variable, can we tell it as an object? If I will tell it as an object, which class object is? Then you will get confused. sir, we know that this is only a variables. How it can be object? Everything is object in object-oriented programming language, especially in Java and Python. You know, whatever language are fully object-oriented programming language. C++ is not a fully, it's a combination of structure and object. So that's why we cannot say as a fully object-oriented programming language. But Python is a fully object-oriented programming language. Okay. So Z is an object of which class? Float class. Okay. We can also represent a complex variable in Python like this one. Okay, this is also allowed. We can also represent a complex variable in this type. This is a more familiar type for you, like 3 plus suppose 5j. Okay, where j is a complex number. Okay, so complex variable you can represent in Python like this. Type casting or type conversion is also allowed in Python. Type conversion, just like C. Okay, type casting. How we can do type casting in C or in C++? We can do type casting from one data type to another data type. If you want to convert one particular thing from one data type to another data type, how we can do that? Okay, we can do a type casting like here. We can do this in a similar way. Here x is a integer type. Suppose we want to convert it into its corresponding float type. Then we can do like this float data type that we need to use as a type casting, and within it we have to pass x object or x variable, whatever we say, as a parameter of this type casting. So this x will be converted into a float type object. Okay, so if we print fl, okay, clear? These are the little thing, right? There is nothing much to say regarding these basic things because these things are very much common with C or C++. Little bit changes are there. Okay, so these are the things that I need to discuss. Some of the things that I need to more discuss that how we can, what are the various keywords that we are using in Python version 3. Above. Okay, so total 33 keywords are there in Python. Total 33 keywords are there in Python. Okay, 33 keywords in Python. Okay, I will discuss about the variable keywords, everything in the next class. Okay, so what are the keywords are there? That I will give you an overall snapshot of the keywords in Python. I will show you. Okay. One more thing that I need to show, then I will provide you some assignments for today's lab. That is indentation, which I have already told. Indentation is very important. Everyone careful listen it. Indentation is very important in Python because we don't use any braces to represent the scope of a class or scope of a function. So indentation is very, very important to represent the scope. Okay, how we can do the indentation? So indentation is Python is very important, unlike the other programming languages. A very simple example I'm giving to you. In Python, we can write a if statement. If else, I think all of you know what is the job of if else. It will use for checking the condition and give you true or false like this. So suppose if I will write like this 5 greater than 2, okay, colon. This is the way of how we can write if statement in Python. I will show you when I'm going to discuss about the looping statement, all these things in future. I will discuss more about it. Okay, if 5 greater than 2, okay, then give a tab. Okay, then give a tab. It will be better to give a tab or tab is good. Okay, so if you give a tab and write print 5 is greater than 2. Okay. Clear? So this is called indentation. This space is called indentation.
Sir, can we use 4 space instead of tab?
Okay, let me check first. I have to run my program using tab. So it is running successfully. Okay, it is better to use tab because it will be easier, because in some statement you will give 2 space, in some statement you will give 1 space, then that will be a problem. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Space is also allowed. That is not a big deal. I've already told. So tab is also allowed, space is also allowed. So how much space? Look, in future, there may be possible that multiple if else statement or if else ladder kind of things will arrive in future. So that tab or indentation is very important, because you are not allowed to use any kind of braces like C or C++ in Python. That is very, very important. Indentation is very important in Python, and that is very unique in Python. And you are not allowed to use any kind of braces to represent the scope of a function or scope of a class. In future, we are going to deal with the class. Okay, how we can define system user defined class, just we have defined in case of C++. In a similar way, you can also define user defined class in Python as well. Okay, but there we will also use the indentation instead of brackets. Okay, and this colon is important to represent after any kind of looping statement, for loop, while loop, if loop, we'll have to use this colon sign. Okay, and space has been given. You may use bracket, you may not use bracket. I think there will not be a problem if you use bracket. Okay, first bracket you can use to represent the condition, so it's your choice. Okay, so these are the things that I need to show you today. Let's see what first assignment is actually dealing with. Look, this is the first assignment. So how many programs you can do? You can do it. Take a snapshot. How many programs you can do? You can do it. Acha, let me show you the else part as well. Then I think it will be easier for you to do the all the assignments, I think. So if part I have already shown you. So else part is very much similar like if part. You will just type the else keyword and give a colon. Okay, type the else keyword, give a colon. Simple. And then give a space and write print. Sorry, I'm just making it copy and paste, because it will print you the false condition. That means just opposite condition. So 5 is smaller than 2. Okay, so this is the else part. I don't need to run it. Okay, then if I will change it, 2 greater than 5. So I hope that else part will execute. Okay, is it clear to everyone how we can write if else? Very simple. I think you are not facing any kind of problem. If you face any kind of problem, please tell me. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyone has any kind of doubt?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, do we have to perform the assignments in Notepad and Anaconda prompt only,
Yes,
or we
yes,
can
yes,
use
yes.
other ID like
Other-
VS Code also?
Look, I suggest all of you to use Anaconda prompt right now, because in some of the program in future, whenever you are providing that command and arguments or some other kind of file in computer vision, I will show you some of the program. In that case, where we require to pass a command and arguments, you cannot use that ID. Okay, it will be better to use this one.
Okay, sir.
So after couple of assignments, then you can shift there. Okay, no problem. After
Okay.
couple of assignments, you can shift there. Okay. Okay. So else, else if, how we can write else if ladder? Okay. Else if you need to see. So suppose I am writing these things. Else if. Else if is written in Python like this. This is the keyword. Else if. Okay. Else the full term is not using in Python, unlike C or C++. We will use elif. ELIF. Okay. Now within elif, we will give some another condition. Suppose 3 is greater than 1. Okay. And here we can write else condition like this. So we can print anything within this one. Okay. suppose I'm giving equal right now. Okay, suppose equal. So if it is equal, then we will write suppose 5 equal to 5 like this. Okay. Okay. So this is the way of how we can create an else if ladder or if else statement. Okay, I think you have understand what I am trying to say or trying to use. Okay, one more thing that I need to show you, that is how we can take user input through keyboard. So in C++, how we can take user input through keyboard? What are the command or statements by which we are using user input?
CIN console.
CIN console input, and then this insertion operator we are using to take user input in C++. Okay, in C we are using scanf, right? I think all of you remember it. In Python we are using a special inbuilt function or system defined function, that is input function, to take user input. Very simple. Okay, so suppose I'm going to take a user input. Suppose name equals to input, enter your name. I'm taking string input, okay, as a user input through keyboard runtime. Okay, and print hello name. Okay, name is our variable here, string variable, so it will print like this. Okay, first it will print hello, which will be compile time input, and this is the runtime input that you have taken. I hope it is clear to everyone. So if we will run it, look, it is demanding an input from you, that is enter your name. Suppose I am giving my name Sanjay, so it will give hello Sanjay. Okay. So I hope that you have understood. So by default, one thing is very, very important in Python. By default, Python user input will return string. Okay, this statement is very, very important. By default, Python user input will return string. Now you are telling me, sir, if it returns string always, so always we have to store into a string variable. That I don't want to do. I want to store it as an integer variable, because I want to take input as an integer type, because I want to do, suppose instead of string, I want to print here an integer variable. How we can do that? How we can do that? Can anyone tell me how we can do that?
By conversion int, like
Yes,
explicit.
by type conversion or typecasting, whatever we say. Okay, how you can do the typecasting? Very simple. If it will return string, then we will do the typecasting of that string in this way. Means I have used the single line to do the typecasting as well as return my user input. Okay, you can also go to a new line, and here you will do int within bracket name, is your choice. Okay, so here I am giving the value, suppose 155 integer value, and it will do hello 155. Okay, so someone can tell, sir, if I am not using typecasting here, it will also give hello 155. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between them?
Because that one will be the string type. If in future
Look,
I am
not I didn't do any kind of typecasting here, but it will also return the same. But this 155 is a string type here. It is not an integer type. You cannot do any kind of addition, subtraction, or division kind of operation on this integer type, because it's string type, and string type will not be allowed to do any kind of arithmetical operations. Okay, 155 is seemed to be a string type. Yes, is it clear to everyone?
Yes,
Now
sir.
I hope that you are able to do all this program. Is there any program you cannot do whatever you have learned today? Tell me. In this 9 program, this is the assignment number 1. We have multiple assignments in this lab. Okay, tell me. read all the programs and tell me. Sir, is there any program, anything new which I didn't show you today, or which you cannot apply to do? Is it okay?
Sir, can you explain?
number 4.